here we are at Sebring in the BMW M2. Track conditions are as such. It's a morning session, 75 degrees, 69% humidity, very low wind. Track is currently at 75. Fuel level for this run or for this lap was about 12.5 gallons. I can't remember what percentage the league starts at because this is the league session, so their parameters. But I think it's around 13 gallons. I don't know what percentage that is of the fuel capacity, but it's around 12.5 gallons for this lap. So let's get into it. So there's a 216 dead. Let's jump into it. So turn one, there is a kink in the road or kink in the wall right here. It's generally where you would brake in like the GT3s or GT4s. I'm braking about, let's see if I can find exactly. Nope. Probably where this well, the wall starts to come in and meet this line, probably at the end of this yellow marker right here, at the end of the yellow strip is probably where I'm applying brake. Yeah, just after that line. And the reason I'm doing so is because I don't want to overshoot turn one. I want to bleed off speed, kind of slow, and just really aim for that apex so I can get back to power sooner and get a better drive out of the corner. Slow, light braking all the way in. Before you hit apex, you can get back to power. I push pretty wide here, but it's not an off track. Let's see how. I mean, I know I touched dirt. I don't know how bad it is, but I touched dirt there, but it's not an off track. So I'm guessing the parameter for off track is probably closer to the end here. Or they maybe have changed the off tracks here, but that did not register as an off track. So that was good. Going down into turn two, same thing. The 3 cone, this line is going to be your braking marker. You're only going to go down to third. Don't go to second. Just stay in third. Really hold off on your entry. You kind of want to. You don't want to hit this curbing at all. You don't want to hit. You really don't want to hit any of these curbings. So it's all about the angle of your approach and how you enter this complex of corners. You don't want to tag the curb there because it'll upset the car. And if you pop this curb too much, you can get away with this curb a little bit, but there is a possibility with some high percentage throttle that the car can upset itself. But you really want to angle yourself to where when you're coming in, you're not hitting this and then you're going straight. Like I have the wheel unwound. I'm not still trying to crank the car left. I've already made my rotation and I'm setting myself up better to exit out of here. So I'm going to barely kiss that curb and I'm going to hold right. I know it shows the dark line over here, but you really want to be a little bit more right. So when you make your turn in, you can get to power, full power, quicker, and just get a better drive out of the corner. Because you can gain time on entry by braking later or, maybe going at it more aggressive, but you lose your exit speed, and this is a very long straight. So you want to kind of hold right, slow turn in, and you want to be back to power before the apex and really drive out all the way to the exit. I mess up here. I brake too late. This is typically my braking marker where I know I need to be getting on brakes really around this point. Maybe a little bit later when Colt, like I said, this is the first flyer. So tires aren't, I would say, optimal as far as temperature. But this is really where I want to be looking to start some brake. I broke a little too late. I'd say push it back. Let's see. So there's the change in asphalt. I'd say this no later than this marker right here. I pushed just a little bit too deep. If I'd have been on the brake around this point, I think I would have nailed, I think it's turn 7. I just had to put too much wheel let me look at that wheel rotation. Far too much wheel rotation. I could have already been back to a decent amount of power at this point. Probably lost a tenth or two out of this turn. Still no off track there. I used to flirt with third in this corner. I'm braking just after the 3-cone, or technically right at the 3-cone. Heavy braking, and I'm going down to second. I was teasing third because you're not in second for very long, but I felt like there might be some times when you scrub too much speed and you need a better drive out of the corner, and third just wasn't providing that. So I went to second, and I've done it ever since. I feel like it's better. Is it better? I don't know, but I do feel like it is. I felt like I was getting better drives. Hold power through here. Like I said, this is the first flyer, so not optimal tire temp, but the car is not really stepping itself out. I am a little bit aggressive with the wheel, keeping the car compliant, but it's nothing too bad. The way I approach this corner is I've seen people get over here and then try to brake in a straight line. I brake straight this way. I'm aiming at the rumble strip over here, and I'm going to make my turn in around that 1 cone. I'm going to start getting my rotation in around the 1 cone, and I'm just going to hold brake, hold a little bit of brake, and then that way I can be back to power. It just sets yourself up. You want a wider arc in this car for corners, just to be able to maintain speed. So that's a good way to keep the arc wide in this corner, is to come at it straight and then aim for that one cone, and then that's when you make your turn in. Still keep a little bit of brake so the front end keeps biting. The car continues to want to rotate, because this is a very crucial corner. You can lose a lot of time if you don't nail this corner right. It's easy to lose a tenth or two, maybe even 3, if you don't nail this turn right. Here I'm braking pretty much right at the end of the rumble strip. Yeah, brake pressure right at the end of that rumble strip. It's the perfect point to get the car slowed down. It's going to be a little twitchy on entry, but just trust the car is going to slow down and it's going to be able to make that rotation. It's not super heavy. Your initial bite is pretty heavy, but then you bleed off to around 40, 50, all the way through the corner. Hug this tight, slight brake, and just rotate the car in. You like I said, with it's all about arc in this car. You want a wider arc for turns, just so that way your momentum, you can carry more momentum. So a wider arc here, less brake, shoot to power. I'm not exactly sure where the proper shift point is on this car. I know the BMW likes lower RPMs, but I still feel like it dies. But when I look at G61, sometimes people are shifting before I do, and their speed is higher. So probably the good shift point is when it turns red. But here, braking just after the 3 cone. I'm going to brake pretty hard. Oh, I guess not pretty hard. Actually, that was a lot softer than I felt I did. I never really got above peak of maybe 55, 60. Slow braking, get the car slowed down. Hold it all the way through apex. Back to power. Push wide. That is a lap around Sebring in the BMW C2 M2. I think that's right. No, CS. M2 CS. I'm an idiot. Okay, it's early. Well, enjoy.